Yeah, I'd like to talk about quality and innovation because there's two approaches to quality, basically. Well, there's many approaches, but I'll take two extremes. There is an approach that's been taken from industry called quality assurance and quality standards. It came out of the Japanese automotive industry. Although it was an American who designed the approach. And the attempt is to make sure that you can produce, every product that you produce on the production line is of a high standard. There are no faults in it. And that's been applied, particularly in online distance learning institutions, to the production of online courses. So we have a set of standards. We require objectives to be set. There's a whole process to go through of using something like ADDIE, that's supply, design, develop, implement, and evaluate, right? So you follow those processes through. And that's worked very, very well when online learning was fairly new, had to prove itself, had to be accepted as being of the same standard as face-to-face teaching. Now, it's ironic, of course, that we've never applied those standards to face-to-face teaching. It's always been applied to digital learning or online learning. But that works well when you have a standard model of teaching. So if you have a standard model of running 200 courses through WOC, for instance, then you can standardize on them. You can make sure they're all designed to a certain quality. Now, what's happening now, from what I said earlier, is that we have all these new technologies coming in. Professors are suddenly finding these, that they can use them, they help them in their classroom teaching and so on. And also, we're finding that we need different kinds of learning in students than we've been doing up to now. There's a demand, for instance, for higher order learning skills, an emphasis on skills rather than content, which comes back to my earlier point about open content and so on. And so employers are saying we want people who are self-learners, people who can solve problems, people who are entrepreneurs and can take initiatives, and we're looking for those skills to be developed. And if we want to develop those skills, then we have to teach not in a standard way. We have to start exploring innovative ways to teach. So that often means, for instance, using virtual reality so people can practice some of those skills in a rich environment, but in a safe environment as well. So, and therefore, if you apply a set of standards to an innovation, by definition, the innovation is going to be inferior because it's different from the standards that you've set. And the whole point about innovation is to do something differently. So we need a different way to look at quality in innovation. Now, I think that many of the basic questions that we have, the questions remain. In other words, what kind of learning outcome are you trying to get? How effective is the approach in getting that? Could we do that more quickly or more efficiently through an innovation? So you can ask those questions, and those are the kind of questions we should be applying to quality and innovation. But not just saying we must apply the old standards blindly to these new developments. So I think that it's not that the quality standards have to be thrown out, but they have to be adapted and reconsidered in an environment in where teaching and learning is rapidly developing and changing, and is not going to be in the old format that it was.